Hey guys, it's the Love Guru from loveguru.net. And my face is a little bit swollen. I think it's on this side. Because I've been downloading some new information and it is sort of stressed me out a little bit. And that's what I'm making this video about, to share my stress with you. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I am still a little bit swollen. So that's what happens when I get the downloads and a little bit of stress. That's what I do to myself with the emotions. But what I wanted to share with you is that, so if you have been reading Q's posts and or following David Wilcock, and personally I like David Wilcock. He is a fellow indigo, and all of us indigos, we might not like each other, but we all love each other, because we're literally brothers and sisters down here on Earth. And I'm not going to go into that right now because that's like a different teaching for a different time. But I just want to say that I do like David a lot, and I feel a connection to him. With that said, I want to share a caution, because I love the information that he shares. I love that he explains the Q posts, but it's been bothering me for several weeks. Actually, since the first time I watched him do the broadcast, which is like a month ago, he did his first broadcast about what's currently going on. And what I want to share with you is that, listen, the Cabal has been planning this New World Order program for close to 50 years. How do I know this? Because I was asking Spirit some questions about the Q posts have really been bothering me, because there's great information that's shared on there, but we keep being told, first off, they're very cryptic, and this is the time of everything being in the light, transparency, honesty, and yet we are told blindly to trust whoever's behind that computer. And David Wilcock has told us that, you know, he knows people in the alliance, that they're doing these arrests, and that we should trust, and that we should just take this as a vacation now. And I want to point out a few things here, because number one, you are not on vacation right now. Okay? No one. If you're a spiritual person and you're awake, this is not business as usual. You should not be doing the same day-to-day shit that you're always doing, okay? Number two, is that this is not a vacation, okay? This is a time, now if I'm talking to my indigos right now, my indigos, my indigo warriors, even if you're not sure if you're an indigo, I'm just carrying on, okay? I don't really have an answer to the indigo thing right now, but basically Zeke is telling me that I am only to be talking to indigos now moving forward, and those who carry indigo warrior energy. And what I want to say to you is, to my fellow indigos, and that's what I call awakened warriors, that's indigos who are healed, is that this is the reason why you're on Earth right now, okay? This is the reason, and that's the only reason why you're here. To be helping break down these corrupt systems and to build new systems. So when somebody tells you, like David Wilcock, again, I like him, okay? But this is, we all have our human stuff that we have to heal through, that we got to work through. And this is an unhealthy, well, okay, we'll get to that in a minute. So to be telling people who are here to be warriors, that are here to be breaking down the structures, if you're telling those who are awake to basically go back to sleep, if they're telling you just to go take a vacation, do nothing, that is misinformation. That is wrong, incorrect information. And that is actually information, most likely from the Cabal. You know, his insiders that he says he has connections with for several years and he trusts them. Now, that's fine that he trusts them. It doesn't mean that you have to trust them. And you, as an awakened warrior, should know, well, should just be tapping into, don't believe what I say either. You tap into your own truth. What feels right to you? Do you think that you should be taking a vacation right now? Do you think that you should be zoning out? No. I already told you. That's the answer. I'm telling you the answer. No. Spirit has been guiding me to detox. I shared with you, I turned off my internet. Zeke told me to do that. I had a detox from movies, from TV, from being on the internet all the fucking time, from being on social media all the time. I had a detox from all that. Spirit has taken me off sugar. That was a little bit rough, but listen. These are all these control patterns, these unhealthy, corrupt things that the cabal has done to us. This is a bigger conversation. We're not getting into it right now. These are all things that the cabal has done to mankind. You know, having your phone, checking your phone all the time, being on Instagram, being on Facebook, all this stuff, round and round and round and round. That is what the cabal has done. They know your mind. They have studied these things. This is a control of your mind, a control of your energy. And guess what? When you are so wrapped up in distractions, you're not in your power. It weakens your power. It weakens your psychic ability. We all have psychic ability. Indigos are the most powerful beings on earth. Again, that is the reason why you're here, to shift these corrupt systems. So when you see David Wilcock or Q sharing posts with you that are basically like, hey, wait, we're going to make these arrests. We're going to do disclosure. We're, oh, we just want you to get revved up and retweet shit or post it on Facebook. And like, when they're guiding you to do these things or guiding you to just have blind faith, that, okay, yeah, these arrests are happening behind scenes somewhere. Dude, it's been a month and a half. Where are these arrests? Oh, well, they're taking statements behind the scene. Fuck no. Listen, again, if David Wilcock wants to privately believe that, I don't think that the world's going to shit, okay? Let me just share that too. I don't want you to be freaked out. But to be sitting around and to be doing nothing, taking a vacation, thinking that everything's okay and that someone else is going to take care of this world for you, no. Hell no. You are here as an indigo warrior. You are here to break down the corruption, to expose the corruption, and to build these new systems in our world. So when Q, again, an anonymous group, we're in the light right now. Everything's shining light. Meanwhile, we have an anonymous group. We're supposed to blindly believe? No. Hell no. Again, good information. Oh, they're on the server of the U.S. government. Yeah, because they might be the fucking cabal. Let me share something for you. Oh, so let me share the unhealthy relationship pattern. An unhealthy relationship pattern, and this is why I always say to you guys, you have to heal yourself. You have to emotionally heal your mental and emotional wounds. Why? Because we all have these unhealthy patterns going on in our lives. And when you have them, you can't see clearly. So when you are blindly trusting some intel you get over the phone, and again, if he wants to believe them, fine. I don't have a relationship with whoever the hell he's talking to. Neither do you. You don't have a relationship with Q. For you to blindly believe people and to just trust that they're taking care of shit for you, no. That is an unhealthy relationship pattern. That needs to stop. So, where are we going with this? Oh, the last point I want to share here, at least I think the last point, because I want to have this video be short, is that okay. I've been talking to Spirit a lot and Zeke a lot about what is going on now, and I've been sharing a lot of frustrations that I've had with Q, with these supposed arrests. Again, we haven't heard of any arrests, okay? All what we've heard, well, all right, so just keep that in mind. We haven't heard of any arrests. Now, if Trump is supposedly good, and I'm not saying he's bad, because I happen to like him too. He has warrior energy with him, but let's say if he is supposedly good, why did he turn the country over to, why did he declare it as a national emergency, and he turned it over to FEMA? If you've done any studying of conspiracy theories, of FEMA, of whatever, you know that's not good. So he has no power, or very limited power. Now, the flip side of that, according to maybe what David would share, is like, oh, this is good because we need military to arrest these people. Dude, wake up. Wake up. done the dark side, done the dark way. What do you think they're using those troops for? Have you read anything about the recent protests or the recent arrests of everyday people? Have you read about how they're releasing criminals from all these prisons and yet arresting citizens who are just standing up for our rights? Does this seem right to you? Does this seem like something positive is happening in the world with Q, with David, with what he's sharing? This is not a thing against David per se. I'm not sharing like, oh, I want you to go hate him or whatever. I want you to question what is going on. This is the last part here. Is that, so P.S. This, the FEMA, which is bad news, once these protests go into full force and then they put provocateurs in the mix to start creating violence, then guess what? Just like people were begging, you know, oh, protect us, government, protect us. Okay, you're going to stay-at-home orders. Yes, yes, please. People are like telling on one another for not wearing masks. They're flipping out. They're so thick in the brainwashing of the mainstream media. Do you turn off your TV? Don't watch that TV. Don't watch the news. It's all crap. It's all made up. The media is run by the cabal, okay? This you have to do research on if you don't know what I'm talking about. So, what was the other thing I wanted to share here? Again, I'm trying to keep this short. I don't want to go on like a whole rant. But, tens of thousands of people have already died. Okay? So again, a lot of the numbers are exaggerated. A lot of the numbers are made up. A lot of other things are kind of tied into that. You know, they're trying to create hysteria. But still, with that said, tens of thousands of people have died. Now, if Trump is supposedly so good, if Q is so good and on our side in clearing corruption, do you think that they would have let all these people die? What are they? Blood sacrifices? Oh, did you just say that? Okay. Let's put that out there. Last part here is that, what is the last part we want to cover here? I don't know. Do I have anything else I want to share? Of course I do, but I just want to see if I covered all the points. Okay. I was talking to Zeke, I've been talking to Spirit. I do every day, all day long, but I was really sort of revved up, annoyed about things and really asking for some information and confirmation about some things that were bothering me. And within maybe 12 hours or less, I got pointed in the direction of this guy called Rooster. That's what he calls himself online. His YouTube channel is Rooster's House. And he has a video that is listed as Corona, and it's part 1 and part 2, but I saw part 1. And what he did in this video is he took us, everybody who was watching, to the World Economic Forum website, which is open and available to everyone, and this is run by the cabal. He took us into a portion on that website, it's not hidden, you can find it, that has the plans for this coronavirus pandemic. And he showed us how complex this plan is. Now, I've been hearing people say that, you know, hey, this is the cabal's last or big attempt. And I always wondered, how do you know that? Where do you get that information? And no one was ever able to provide any of this information. But this guy was, and he brought it again. It's open, available. Everyone go to worldeconomicforum.com, I think it is, or something, .org maybe. And you can click on coronavirus, and you can peruse that, and you will see the whole very detailed mastermind of what the cabal has planned for now. And it has stuff like transnational actors, which is crisis actors. It has 5G listed on there. It has artificial intelligence on there. It has many, many levels of things listed on there. And again, it has many, many levels Like you see a whole wheel chart, and anything you click on highlights tons of more information. And when you see something like this, it's fucking scary, because you see, well, it's genius and scary. I give credit where credit's due. It's genius. The layers of the information that they have on there and how thought out this plan is. And again, they have been planning this for close to 50 years. It says it right on this like promotional video that they have. And you realize that all these false flags that they've been doing over all these years have just been helping them get intel, helping us, work us into a place of to comply and to kind of analyze how we give up control and how our mind works. This is a fight between light and light and dark, and this is a war that's going on now. So one of the things that David says and Q says is that this is a silent war. And he says that the reason for that is, I'm going to get back to that wheel that I was talking about and then we'll wrap it up. But he says that the reason why this is a silent war is that this is a war that's mostly done online. You're getting information dumps and you should just share them. And while I partly agree with that, the reason why it's a silent war is because people don't know there's a war going on. Let that sink in for a minute. People don't know we're in a war. I walk around, I see people in the park, I see people in the neighborhood. People are wearing the stupid masks. People are in fear. People walk totally the other way to get away from you because they're afraid you have cooties. They're not afraid to get cooties. They don't even have proper information of what's going on now. So you have these people that are totally unconscious. They're unaware. They're not awake. They have no clue what's going on. They're deep in the brainwashing. Then you have people who are somewhat awake and they don't really understand on how, like, you need to be taking action now. And you might say, well, Blaire, what action? You know, what action? Speak to God. That's between you and God. Okay, we're not going to go into that right now in this video, but that's the answer. Speak to God. This is between you and God. Clear your addictions and then speak to God. So you're in your full power, and then speak to God. And you have to get out there and start speaking to people, the ones who are semi-awake or awake. You have to speak to them, and you have to start gathering, because there's power in numbers, and then you don't feel like you're alone. Because a lot of people, if not most of our society, has no fucking clue what's going on. There's ones who are maybe not so much in fear that are not wearing a mask, but they still have no fucking clue what's going on. You have people who are into this conspiracy theory stuff, but they're in shame of sharing what they know, because the CIA has done a number on us and our society that anybody who is a conspiracy theorist has been programmed, again, by our media, by our movies that we watch, whatever. They have programmed our society to think that we are nuts, that we're crazy, when it's really, that was how they wanted to, that's, again, a mind control program that they created. I think it was back when JFK was shot and they didn't want people asking questions. It's a way that they shut people down. So look it. This is not a silent war. This is a war that we are in. You have to start speaking up. You have to start spreading the word. You have to start building people up who are in the know or somewhat in the know that you guys do have the power to change this world. Again, us indigos are here to change the world. So fucking man up. Stop with the weak little me, the victim story, the whatever. Again, that is all part of our programming. I share about this in my books. I'm actually editing right now How Aliens Put Me Into Power. I told you about this. I also am writing a couple of books, The Rise of the Lightworkers, and I share all this deprogramming stuff in there. But for right now, you have to cut the shit out that you're just a little person and you have no friends or little friends, and who's going to speak to you, and you're afraid to talk about conspiracy, and fuck that and stop it. You're needed right now. You're very powerful. All of us indigos are. We are the most powerful beings on earth. Now, looping this back to David, part of this agenda, this big mastermind that I saw through this guy Rooster's house video labeled coronavirus or corona, he relabeled it or something. You see this mastermind that these people, these crazies mapped out, and it sounds very positive when you're reading it, but these people are not in the light, okay? We know that, clearly we know that. And one of the sections, the subdivisions, is how are we going to handle these nationalites, the ones who are not into a global system, a one world religion, and who are going to fight for their rights. How are we going to handle them? Now, this guy did not go into that in that video as far as like what it said under that division, but for me, it all clicked. Boom, boom, boom. I got all the information that I needed. It's the information that I was looking for, and it was the information I was asking Spirit for, because if when you ask the question, Spirit always answers, okay? Know that. This is a time that you need to be developing a very strong relationship with God. I got to finish this. I have a low battery. I'm finished anyway. So what do you think? Again, David might be right. Q might be right. These people might be good. The alliance might be good. I think that we are going to have a positive situation here. But we need to step up, because this Q thing, and even when David speaks, I can't even hear him. I can't, like, it goes to another, it's not resonating because I'm not feeling it. It's not truth. What he's sharing is not truth. So I don't know if they worked one over him. I don't know what the story is over there. I'm really not sure. But this is, they reached out to him. How are his videos still up and everybody else's are being taken down? You have to ask yourself these questions. So this could very well be a way that members in the quote alliance reached out to him, which technically they might be in the cabal, reached out to him. And this is how they are putting people who are awake back to sleep, by telling you it's a vacation, by telling you that, hey, when this lockdown goes on down, that people are even begging for this lockdown to happen. You know what? If the lockdown happens, that's fucking scary, because that means we're going into martial law. That means the military's coming out, going to be watching over us. And you know what? We'll just leave it like that. We'll just leave it like that. You can figure it out. Read between the lines. Please download this video. Please mirror it. Please pass it around. And I wish you the best in love and in life. And I wish you well. I wish you that you're blessed. And I wish you that you come off your addictions, that you connect with God. You pray during this time. This time is not a vacation. And you step up into what you are meant to be doing in this world, because now is the time. If you're an indigo, if you carry indigo warrior energy, now is your time. You are not supposed to be sitting behind the computer zoning out, or in front of the TV zoning out. Speak to God, find out what your mission is, and start doing something. Start speaking to other people, joining with other indigos, so that we can rise.